My name is Dr. Silverio Latidoye. I am the medical director in charge of the medical subcommittee. I am the go-to person when we go on mission trips with regards to medical issues. Over the years, we've accomplished a lot in Arms of Care, even though we're a small organization. Many times when we go on short-term missions, it's almost like a band-aid. We're doing very temporary care. We're seeing people for things like high blood pressure, diabetes, and we're giving them medications that only last a short time. But I'm hoping that in the future, we'll be able to liaison with either healthcare facilities on ground where we can make lasting impacts on the healthcare of the people. We've done several outreaches in different countries. We've been to several continents. We've been to countries such as Panama, Guyana, Botswana, the Philippines, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and Nigeria. I have several stories I could share, and I will share this one. This was when I was in Zimbabwe. I met a very young lady. I could see from her countenance that, she was very sad. Even I asked her why she was coming to see me, and it was for a minor concern. I think maybe she was coughing. She didn't feel good. She may have had some asthma symptoms. But as we continued to talk, I realized that there was something more than just, her symptoms. And I was actually speaking through an interpreter, talking to her. She just then started telling me about her life and the deep despair that she was going through even before she came there. And I just had an opportunity to just speak to her and tell her about the love of Jesus, tell her how much Jesus loved her and cared for her. She went from someone who came in who looked depressed to the time when we were done. There was such a big transformation in her appearance. I was able to pray with her. And also, I was able to sow something into her life. And I know that, that made a lasting impact. Even though she came in and I ministered to her, she also ministered to me. So I got more out of that visit than I gave out.
My name is Charles DK. I'm the Director of Strategy and Planning for Arms of Care. In my role as Director of Strategy and Planning, I help define and execute the mission and the strategy of Arms of Care for the present and for the future. I've been with Arms of Care for 6 going on 7 years. And in that role, I've seen Arms of Care do tremendous things. We moved pounds and pounds of supplies into underserved communities. We've been able to touch and change and transform lives of people that otherwise would have nobody to care for them and nobody to speak for them. But I believe we could do so much more, given the limitation of resources and what we've been able to accomplish so far. So discipleship is a significant component of what we do. Our end game is really a personal and individual transformation. We believe the Great Commission is not a call just to make converts. It's a call to make discipleship and disciples. And discipleship is a process, not an event. And so we're investing in the lives of the pastors and the leaders of faith communities in which we serve, and trying to engage them in the actual active discipleship of the people so that they can make different lifestyle choices that lead to different medical outcomes. To do that, clearly we have 3 pillars that guide us. We want to work within the medical field. We also want to work within community empowerment and development. But we're also understanding that the philosophy of the classroom in one generation is the philosophy of government in the next generation. So we're working in the field of training and development within the education sector and within the religious sector. We're looking to build economic engines, a health training center, build diagnostic centers, and things that not only provide medical services to the people, but also give them a means for making an income.
My name is Godwin Okoro. I am the Director of Logistics for Arms of Care. I've been with Arms of Care for about 8 years now, and my function starts primarily with planning ahead of any missions trip. Working with Arms of Care has really been a big blessing. Just the belief that Arms of Care has, inspiring hope in the hopeless, carrying healing to people that really need them. I've had some good on-site experiences working with Arms of Care, especially in the area of logistics, crowd movement, getting people before they see the doctor, all the things that have to take place. We do have individuals that actually have great need to receive from Arms of Care. One instance that comes in my mind was just an old lady in Zimbabwe that we blessed with a wheelchair. And she was so happy that she has to call her daughter to come and thank Arms of Care. And that wasn't enough for her. She brought her granddaughter to also come. And that was when we all broke down because of the happiness that she was extending to us. And these are the things that help me, inspire me to do more for Arms of Care. Looking at the fact that they are touching the very needy, the ones that Jesus Christ said that He came to this world for, the poor. The book of Proverbs 19 verse 17 says that when you give to the poor, you lend to God, who rewards you handsomely. And that is our belief, and that's why we continue to do what we do. Arms of Care has really helped a lot of people, and I have seen the need met with just mere canes, rollators, wheelchairs, and other medications that help the elderly. Some of the challenges we have is that we don't have enough to meet all the needs. There are several people that require methods of ambulatory assistance, and we always run out.
My name is Onra Michael Obiekwe. I am the founder of Arms of Care International. We started Arms of Care in 2004. My passion for missions started when I was a medical student way back in Nigeria, when at the end of every period that we gathered together in our fellowship, we went to share the Word of God with people, patients that were seen as medical students during the day. And when I was doing my youth service corps, working in rural areas, I had more passion for people who do not have access to medical health. I was concerned that there are people who, despite their dear needs, they don't have anybody who they can turn on to for medical help. So this was a burning desire in my heart to be of help to such people. So since we started Arms of Care, by His grace, we've been to over 14 nations. And in my own practice here in Atlanta, I saw that the people who still do not have either the money or they don't know how to access medical health in this country because of the need that we've seen, where we have provided free medical care, diagnosis, treatment, and sometimes in these local communities, we help people refill their medications. Internationally, we have not only partnered with other organizations, but we all try to train local doctors to continue from whatever we have been able to do. We have surgeons amongst us, dentists, and so we take care of dental problems, carry out surgical operations, fix people's hernias, lipomas, hydrocele. These are the things that we do. Cataract surgeries are carried out by our ophthalmologists, who go on these missions with us. People who need refractive problems. As simple as eyeglasses have changed the lives of people. One very interesting one was when we were in Zimbabwe. This man works in the water corporation. His job was to read some meters in the calibration of water. Because he didn't have the proper sight, he couldn't do it. He couldn't pass the exams, and he was running the risk of losing his job. So one of the missions we carried out in Zimbabwe in 2013, giving this man 2 pairs of eyeglasses changed his whole world. It was very little to us, but it meant so much to this man. And it touched me so much that such a little thing to us meant a whole lot. Means sustaining his job, being able to pass exams so that he's able to keep his job and feed his family. Such little things have been of immense value to us, how we can touch people's life. Because of the numerous challenges that we've had in Arms of Care in meeting the needs of people, There are people at the end of every mission who were not able to attend to. They go back with their giant hernias, lipomas, medications are limited. Supplies like wheelchairs and walkers, simple as a cane, we can't get them because we run out of supplies. Sometimes we've been operating on a particular mission for days and we can't go any further, despite the fact that we still want to, but we run out of sutures and surgical supplies. This is where we think you can come in. We think you can be the answer to somebody else's prayer by supporting Arms of Care. You can support it through many ways. Yes, you can pray with us, pray for us as we go. You can contribute. You can send these supplies that we're talking about. You can also encourage us by partnering with us in any way that you can. You can go with us if you have the skills. Everybody is required. You don't have to be a medical person to go with us. And we need people in logistics. We need people in recording. We need people to help us with crowd control. So you don't have to be a medical person to go with us. So we partner with organizations. We partner with individuals who have the same mind. Our mind is to help those who can't help themselves. Our motto is touching life, one soul at a time. Partner with us and touch lives.